is how we do it now. Daily dose with this. Got you coming back for more.
It's game day. It's Saturday. I'm here. Listen, y'all, it's been a week. It's been a week. I don't have my mic. Let me see if it works. Did the whole show on Thursday. Nobody told me that the mic wasn't working. I had people watching. I don't know what happened. So my whole show Thursday was a hot mess express, and no one told me. So let's see if we can get the mic to work. It's the reason why I wasn't on here yesterday, because I was trying to work out the icks and the kinks and all those things. So hold on. You know, this is Saturday Overtime. This is the Daily Dose with Des. So welcome back. Y'all know this show is very much a freestyle show. The show has not a lot of structure. My last show I was on here ranting, and I actually got a lot of views on the show. So I don't know. Maybe I like that. I'm not really sure. But as y'all know, I am always late, and I'm currently late. I will be going. Let me check my audio first. That's first things first. That's first thing freaking first. Let me see. As y'all know, I'm always late, and I'm currently late. I will be going. Okay, I fixed it. All right. Okay, because I was like, oh my gosh. I went to edit the clips, and then when I heard the audio back, I said, OMG. I can't really use anything from this show unless I do extensive audio recovery, and your girl doesn't really feel like doing all that, okay? So I'm probably going to touch on some of the topics that I touched on Thursday, because those are pretty good topics. I spent so much time digging up those topics. But one thing I will say before we start this show, I told y'all that the Los Angeles Dodgers were not to be slept on, especially because they have Shohei Ohtani. Do you understand? 3 home run. Hold the phone. I told y'all, don't sleep on them, because even though they were in that wild card situation, I never was going to doubt them when they have Shohei. And look what they did. What? I mean, it was a good try, though. It was a good try on their part, though. The Mariners and the Blue Jays still duking it out. I think I mistake that. I think I said that I think I said that the Blue Jays were leading that series, and I think I messed that up. So let me go back. I don't mind correcting myself. I'm one of those people where I don't double down unless I'm really meaning to double down. If you get what I'm saying. Yeah, Dodgers swept that. It's so crazy. And it's not crazy. It's not crazy, because I said that the Dodgers were not the team to sleep on. Were not the team to not bet on. And I said that. I said that the Dodgers could go all the way back. But when I say things, a lot of people be like, she don't know what you're talking about. She's a girl. I get that all the time. If you guys don't understand, and again, this is my freestyle show, so I'm going to jump all around. But seriously, you all do not understand the magnitude of, that's what we need a woman talking about a guy team or whatever. The misogyny is so crazy. And the thing is, I'm gonna start being a little misogynistic too back. But I'm gonna be woman, it probably makes sense of what I'm saying. I'm gonna be misogynistic back, but it's just always misogynistic in a woman's way. But it's what is the problem? Is there not enough space for all of us? Now, I can see if it's I've seen some very questionable women in the sports space. I understand that. I understand maybe coming at the door because they may say something stupid oh my God, I feel like every team that's in one city should be, at the same arena or at the same stadium. That's stupid. Everybody knows that all the sports cannot play in one arena. That's very stupid. I understand that. Okay? So, but I want to correct myself. Seattle currently leads that series now 3-2. So the Blue Jays are trying to catch up from behind, So I am correcting that. Somebody probably going to see it, they probably going to comment on it. But don't worry, I'm not going to clip that. I'm not going to clip that part. I'm not going to clip that part. I will clip this part, though. The Mariners are leading the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays with the top seed coming into that, coming in to the playoffs. Let's start again because I was having a moment. You know why I'm also having a moment? Because they are building houses next door, like this next little patch to me. I don't know why they decided to do this to me. And I don't want to move because for the past couple years, I haven't had anybody beside me. I haven't had any of this noise. And it's just like, it's like it's never freaking ending. Like, I'm so ready for it to be over. I'm just so over it. Like, I gotta get the hell out of here. I'm gonna lose my mind. Literally, I'm gonna just lose my mind. But anyway, the Seattle Mariners are leading the series currently 3-2 over the Toronto Blue Jays. I did a segment before where I was talking about how the Blue Jays came in at the top seed into the playoffs, hoping to get themselves back to the World Series after a 32-year drought. The Mariners have never been. They have nothing really to lose. If you think about it, they have really nothing to lose because they've never gained. They never won. So they have everything to gain in a way with getting to the World Series. And I feel like that's really kind of how they're playing. I feel like the Blue Jays were pretty good for a majority of the MLB season, but it really matters now. This is when it counts. Yes, they've turned the tide a little bit. They've won 2 games, and now they're pushing it to a game 6. And that matters, but really you coming in as a top seed and letting Seattle kind of handle you the way that they are, it's kind of like, ooh, what are the Dodgers going to do to you, if and when you get to the World Series? I think Seattle is playing pretty solid. Obviously, these teams are much better competitive-wise than I think most expected. I think if I'm looking at the way that they're playing, I think that LA has a big one up to be able to win the World Series again. That's just my opinion from what I see so far. But like I said before, baseball is one of those games where the tides can turn any game. Hell, the tides can turn during the game. So I think this game 6 is going to be really important and really imperative for the Mariners to really go in there and handle business. If they want to really handle it and close the fold, this will be the game to do it. So then they have a little bit of time because right now the Dodgers, as of yesterday, they're resting now. They're getting ready for the World Series. So whoever is in this, I guess I'm speaking for Seattle because Seattle is up 3-2. So if Seattle really want to close it out and get some rest and really turn their minds and really get ready for the World Series, then I think they need to just go ahead and close it out. This will be 2 West Coast teams. Baseball is very different than NFL. Most times in NFL, you're like, wait a minute, you normally get, one team. Teams may be fairly close, but it's like the East, Mid, and West. And usually they make sure that based off of geographically, the teams are not coming necessarily from the same side in a way. But baseball, again, it's not like that. So for this round, and we've seen it before, but it'll be LA and one of the 2, I guess, Toronto. Well, Toronto is considered, I guess, Eastern, so I guess they're from the other side. But I think that Seattle's going to win this, so it's going to be 2 from the West, in my opinion. So it'll be Seattle and LA, and, you don't really have far to go if you're one of them. Okay? I need to do my makeup. I need to start doing my makeup because that's what I'm here. I am watching College Game Day, and we're going to talk a little bit about the James Franklin interview that was just done. So the only reason why I didn't hop on right away because I was watching that interview. But before that, there were games last night. Okay? There were games last night. And they were games. Yeah. Those were good. Those were good games. Miami has gotten exposed. Yes, they have. Miami has gotten exposed by Louisville. I feel like Louisville is one of those teams, too. It's like, They may not be, looked at as like top contenders, but they no slouches either. And they really showed that last night. I think going into this game, everybody was on Miami's jock straps. And I'm just calling it like I see it because it's the truth. Everybody was on Miami's jock straps. Everybody was like, Miami's gonna win, And I was even one of those people. I'm like, I don't see how Miami's going to lose because of how they've been playing. But yeah, y'all finally got to see a little bit of what Georgia was seeing, what Georgia fans were seeing, what Kirby Smart saw, and Carson Beck when he showed up, because he showed up and he just wasn't prepared. Maybe he got in a fight with with his girlfriend. Maybe that's what. Maybe she pissed him off before the game, and then he just couldn't get right. He just couldn't get his mind right. I mean, that can happen, That can happen. I don't know though. That's just allegedly. Okay, but he showed up. And didn't show up the way he was supposed to show up. He threw 4 picks. 4 picks in that game. So I don't know if that Louisville defense just got to him or what. But, yeah. Where's my little scrunchie? I thought I had one. That's what I'm looking for. I don't know. Louisville... I feel like when I seen Louisville, I hate when the deodorant like crumbles underneath it. It's so unattractive. I feel like when I saw Louisville last year and how they played Clemson, I was like, this team's pretty competitive. And I feel like they're like that too, even in basketball. I feel like they are super highly competitive, and they're just like, I just feel like they just don't win enough. I don't know if that makes sense. Or they just don't have a history of winning a lot. So they don't get as much like recognition and respect that they probably are deserving of. Because it is no way, like they're just one of those like sleeper teams, I feel like. And I feel like every time they're slept on or they're like doubted really, really badly, they come in and they show you why you shouldn't be doubting them. And I feel like that's exactly what they did last night against Miami. They went into Miami Gardens and handled business. I thought that, maybe Carson Beck got a hold of Tua Tagovailoa. Because that's how he played. That's how he was playing last night. Like he asked Tua for some pointers and Tua gave him everything but the right pointers. He pointed him in every direction but the right way. Maybe they share a locker. They share the same stadium, so maybe they share a locker. And maybe Tua's energy is starting to rub off on him. I don't know. What I do know is that the performance was piss poor. I hope that ain't changed my audio. I seen it blink across my screen. But yeah, performance was piss poor. I'm not really sure. I don't know what to say about it. To be honest, I don't know what to say about it because there is no way, literally, that he should have showed up and played against them like that. But I feel like it's always like that. It's always a team that you are not supposed to lose to, just like Alabama losing to Florida State. Like, that was a team they were not supposed to lose to that team. And I don't know if it's just a mindset thing of, when players show up. Because I can only speak from a cheerleader's perspective or from a track and field perspective. I can only speak from those perspectives. But even when I was, even when I did track and field, we always had heats or whatever. So, like, you need to be in the top of your heat, right? You get another opportunity. When you get to that final, you get that one last round. Like, this is make it or break it, right? And usually we ran against multiple schools most times because where I come from, like, the county was big. And even if it was just a regular school, you're still running against either your teammates or you're running, obviously, other people. But I don't know, like that. I know it's mentally, it can be a mental game there. I don't know. I really don't know how that feeds into it. I mean, cheer for competition. We all were basically like, yeah, we know that this team won last year, and we know that this team is supposed to be the best team coming in this year. But at the end of the day, when you go to cheer competitions, it's all the same playing field. It's all the same slate. So mentally, you just trying to prepare to make sure you don't drop in the pyramid. I mean, that's what I was worried about. I'm trying to make sure my pyramids don't drop because Coach wasn't about to chew me out. Okay. I mean, she chewed all of us out, but I'm saying like me thinking about myself. I guess I could put it to where like I guess like cheer auditions. So like when I do auditions, I do kind of like psych myself out sometimes. So I don't know. I don't know, but I think that's psyching myself out and not necessarily thinking about a team that's or a person that's not supposed to beat me or something. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know what was going through his brain. I can only imagine. And then he got up a few times and was looking kind of like he was looking kind of slow to get off. I think he was that wrist. He did have surgery before he even went to Miami, which is the reason, one of the reasons why I feel like he didn't think that he was going to have a spot at Georgia because of his injury and all that. I know I look like a ghost. Don't worry, it's gonna even out. It's gonna even out, but I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I kind of felt bad for him, but then again, I didn't because like this is your job. You got paid $4 million to go there. There's no reason why you showed up like that. No reason at all. No reason. But I don't know. Maybe that's just one of those cheap shot games. They do have a pretty easy schedule. A lot of unranked teams that they're going to be playing. So they should be okay. They should not lose any more games. I mean, unless people are watching the tape. If you're watching the tape, you know what to do now. You know what to do. You know how to do it. So there's no excuse why you don't do it. But again, that's on them to figure out, I think I'm going to do... My skin is getting so much better. It looks so good. Like, I really actually don't need... I don't need that foundation. I think, though, I do want to put a little tinted moisturizer on. Because it does have a little bit of, what's this stuff called? Sunscreen. Even though I already put on sunscreen, but I feel like you can never have enough sunscreen. That's just my opinion. Especially when people are like dying from skin cancer. Not dying from skin cancer, but people are getting diagnosed with skin cancer left and right because they like being in the sun. And the press box is definitely open air. And the sun be shining. And it's during the day, so yeah. So, anything helps, surely. Okay, another one. I did also watch UNC and Cal. I didn't know that it was coming on yesterday. I thought it was a Saturday game. I actually like having football on Friday. I know sometimes it's like high school football and things, but I don't cover high school football. I don't go to high school football. I wanted to start going to and doing high school football, but it's looking like, you have falling outs with people. They just tend to forget that you may not personally get along, but people have a hard time personal with business, right? And this is what I face a lot into this industry that I'm in right now, and I'm going to be completely honest with you all right now. There is a lack of people understanding of what a professional relationship should look like and what it should be, and then turning it around and making it and including your personal relationship, right? So a lot of times people will want personal relationships with me, and they feel as though in order to get the personal relationship, they have to do some type of business with me, or they come to me as like they're trying to do business with me, but in reality, they want some type of personal relationship, right? And I don't like that because I feel like, one, that's manipulative and that's sneaky, right? That to me, that's sneaky because you have some type of underlying reason as to why you're here. You're not really here for my success. You're here to get what you want. And if I happen to be successful in the process, then that's like, oh, great, whoop-de-doo, right? And I don't like that because this sports space is my baby. This is my personal like place, personal project. This is really like what I'm putting my blood, sweat, and tears into, right? And I keep saying, like, I want to get it to a point where I don't have to, rely on other sources to fund what I'm doing over here. Because this, what I do in general is not cheap in any way, right? You need money to do things, right? So, I don't like that, because if you want to have some type of personal relationship with me in any way, just say that. So that way I'm not looking forward to us doing business, because to me, business is business. That's what that is. Business is business to me. And I don't really like to mix business and pleasure. I don't do that, because I understand that business is strictly business. When people got to make a business decision, I understand that. I'm not going to go against them. I'm not going to tear them down. I'm not going to stop working with them because of that. Really, let's say we have to sever ties, because sometimes you just sever ties with business. That's okay, right? Like, I understood, really. I had a friend of mine who I really wanted to do business with. But when I realized and I found out that their type of business and the way they conducted business was not the way that I wanted to represent and show up for myself, I had to sever ties with them business-wise. But they are still my friend. Because I didn't look at them and like, oh, well, I can't be your friend. The only way that I have to disassociate, and I'm going to keep a beam with y'all, especially like if I'm dealing, really men and women, honestly. If you are, or if you have a spouse and you are cheating on your spouse, I can't do business with you. I really don't even want to be involved with you personally either. But I definitely cannot do business with you, because that shows me how you are in business. You lack discipline. You lack discipline. You lack respect. You lack commitment. You can't even keep your word. I can't do business with you. Child, business be over there rolling in the sea. And if I'm expecting you to be my business partner, and I'm expecting you to commit to our business, and you can't even commit to the person that you vowed to love, do thick and thin, to death do you part, I don't want no pause. We can sever this now. Okay? So, those are people there. No, I will not do business with you. I will not do business with people that's like that. And I don't really care who has something to say about it or not. And I understand that sometimes you may not know that the person is doing, what they're doing. But if I find out and I know that you're doing that, oh yeah, no, not happening. You're done. You're out of here. I literally had a man contact me, and it is one of my frat brothers, contact me saying that he wanted me to be a part of his up and coming business, his growing business. I don't like to say people's businesses are small. His growing business, right? And I was like, sure, cool. He wanted me to do some marketing. That's great. Marketing is my bread and butter. Now, mind you, I'm not doing no free work. I am not doing free work, okay? I already work for free for myself. So please understand, when you approach me, do not approach me with no free work, because Des ain't doing it. I'm not doing it, okay? Congratulations that you're starting your business. Congratulations that you trying to get your thing off the ground. Congratulations, but I am not helping nobody else build their business, build their following, build their production. No more ever again for free. Not doing it. Not doing it. There has to be some type of payout. Even if the payout can't be monetary, I need to be getting something from it in order for me to feel like I am being compensated correctly for my time, for my skill, for my knowledge, for my preparation, for my dedication, for my loyalty. Yeah, because people, I've learned over the past 3 years, people have really been playing in my face. And that's okay. You live and you learn. I'm not regretful of it, because I've learned so much that where I can now sit on my own live stream and I can now do it myself, and I don't have to necessarily have somebody to do it. But please understand and guarantee you this: when it is my time to hire somebody to bring them online or to bring them on with me, I'm not going to ask them to do it for free. That's why I don't have anybody working for me now. because I'm not going to ask you to work for free or for something that I can't actually give you. The money that's coming in is barely enough money for my own self, so I darn sure cannot be giving it away to nobody else, not right now. But when I do, I can guarantee you I will know the ins and the outs of my business. Period. Will nobody be able to tell me Nathaniel about the business of how to operate? Because if that person decide to go on or move on to somebody else, or that person decided they sick one day, I know how to get on here and I know how to at least do the basics. Okay, so you need to make sure you do know the ins and outs of your business, because you need to know the basics in case anything ever was to happen. But I go to say that when I was talking about my frat brother. So asked me to do his marketing or to work, with his marketing team or whatever. And I already knew he didn't know how to run the business, because coming from the background of marketing, for one business, you don't need 4 marketing directors. You have one business. One. You need to be able to market your one business. You need a marketing maybe director. You can even have a manager, a coordinator, and like 2 assistants if that's what you want. But you do not need, that's like having 4 department heads in one department. So now you got 4 different visions. You got 4 different processes. You got 4 people doing it a different way. It's too much. It's too much. Right? So boom. I told him, I gave him my opinion. I'm like, this is my respectful opinion. I'll give you a consult for free or whatever. Do with it as you may. But then I found out that he was cheating on his wife. And he has a child on the way that is not from his wife. I can't do business with you. I can't do business with you. No. No. Mm-mm. You're reckless. And I can't do that. I just can't. So, I gave him that free consult and I moved along. And it wasn't like, and I'm not on here to bash nobody, nothing. I'm just giving you an example of opportunities and times that I've had to work with people. And I just am like, I cannot do it. Because at some point, your morals and your values have to be higher than the opportunity that you think that you see at hand. All opportunities are not good opportunities. And I don't want to be a part of somebody who is literally ruining their whole personal life and thinking that they're not going to ruin my business life. There's no way. There's no way. I don't know how people do that. And there's no tea, no shade toward them. They just figure out how to do it, because to them, business is business and personal is personal. But there's just some personal characteristics that I don't know if I can actually do business with. Just like if you do fraud, like you steal people's identities. Why in the hell do you think I want to do business with you and you steal people's identities? What? You might steal my identity. Why would you? Why would I do that? That's stupid. But you'd be surprised, y'all. People actually do it. People actually do it. They'll know that this person will steal their identity, and they will still give them the time of day. That I never understood. Never. But yeah. I don't even know how I got on that topic, but that was my rant. Yeah. I was saying, I was watching the UNC and Cal game, which I like having football on Friday. That's how I got on it, because I was talking about football on Friday and me going to go to high school football. But my business partner at the time, I guess we're not business partner no more, off of something personal, but it is what it is, It just is what it is. There are certain things that I'm like, I'm standing on 10 about, and I stand on 10 about. Just certain things I just do. I'm really big. I'm one of those people where I am really big on respect and consideration. And I'm one of the people who believe in therapy, so please understand. That I am the way I am now because I've worked through my issues. I've worked through my traumas. I've worked through those points of my life where I felt as though like it was hindering me from being great. But when people say like they have their like non-negotiables, my non-negotiables are respect and consideration, and those are just the top two things in my life, both personal and business. For me, having someone that literally just disregards me really just doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't sit well with me. Because I think I like to be concerned. I do believe in treating people how you want to be treated. Sometimes, and then after that, I feel like there's a twofold. You treat people the way you want to be treated, and if they do not treat you back the same way or in return, or if they're treating you a certain way, then at that point you can turn the tide a little bit and then treat them the way that they're acting, right? And I mean, and how I mean it is, okay, if you go into every situation being respectful, right? You're being respectful to that person. You're being respectful of their space. You're being considerate to them. You're giving them and you're allowing them the opportunity to, do whatever they want to do, make it right, make it wrong, do whatever, right? That's now you are treating them the way you want to be treated. And that's in terms of speaking of me. I want to be considered. I want to be respected. I want to make sure that I give my very best self to that person in anything that I'm doing. Right? And in turn, if that person, spits on you, slaps you in the face, both physically or figuratively, or they're just outright disrespectful and they don't care, for whatever you're saying. They can't respect your boundary, right? Then at that time, okay, I see that you're being disrespectful. I see that you're being rude. I'm going to remove myself from this because I'm not going to do that. I'm going to treat you the way that you are acting, and you're acting like a butthole. So I'm going to do what I do with buttholes. I'm going to wipe it and leave it away and go on about my business. Leave it at that. I'm going to leave you there. After I clean it up, I'm going to leave it there. Probably a bad example. But, and that's just the thing. I am huge on respect. And there's nothing that y'all can, not say y'all, but there's nothing that anybody could do to make me not feel as though I don't need to be big on respect. I'm big on respect. Because I'm respectful. I grew up being respectful. And it's just common decency and courtesy. And I really hate that when people feel as though they are older than you, when they feel like they know more than you, that they have more than you, they feel as though they can now treat you in that way. You're never going to be able to treat me that way. I don't care who you are. You're never going to be able to treat me that way. Right? Never. Never. You're never going to treat me that way. So if that means losing out on some opportunities, okay. If that means not being able to go to certain places anymore, okay. Okay. That's fine. But what I cannot do is work with a person that consistently disrespect me and then think that I'm going to, have anything change or have anything be different, or, that I'm just going to be okay. No. Because if you can't respect me, in a professional space, you just damn sure can't respect me at all. I'm just, if you can't respect me, you just can't respect me. And I'm not demanding respect. I shouldn't have to demand respect. This is respect that I have rightfully earned. Some people want respect and they say respect is earned or whatever, but guarantee you I earned all respect. I work hard. I extend myself more than I probably need to be extending myself. And I do everything that I need to do. I do everything that is asked of me and everything. Maybe not all the time. But in business, for sure, it's L all the time. So yeah, like I cannot be with or be around people that just disrespect me. Especially because I get enough of it from the naysayers online. I get enough of it already. I don't want my business partner or the person that I'm supposed to be working with that's supposed to believe in me more than anybody else to also be the person that's disrespecting me in the same sense. Like, no. Or that's not considerate of me and how I may feel. Not considerate of opportunities that I may want to do. You know? And again, that sucks. But I believe in my God. And my God says that when one door closes, another one would open. Heck, 3 more might open. Okay? So I may take a minor step back now, but guarantee you, this ain't down. We not down. We up. We up. Because one thing's for certain, 2 things for sure. Hard work don't stop. Hard work does not go unnoticed. It may feel that way, but it doesn't. Hard work does not go unnoticed. And at some point, your hard work will be rewarded. And maybe that's a word for somebody. Maybe that's a word for somebody. And maybe you feel right now that your hard work is going unnoticed. Maybe you feel right now that all the things that you have been doing and putting out for yourself, you feel as though that nobody sees you. You feel as though nobody is watching you. Nobody is appreciating you. But I'm here to tell you that hard work does not go unnoticed. It may not be noticeable right away, but hard work does not go unnoticed. In the end, good people do win. And I know a lot of people like to say that. You know, good people don't win. Nice guys finish last. Maybe at the moment, right? But who won the race? You know? Think about it. So I use that to be with me because I know that my hard work is not going to be unnoticed. I know that my feelings may be hurt now, but they're not going to be hurt forever. They're not going to be hurt forever. That's not the way God set that up for me. So I don't know who need to hear that. Maybe I just need to hear that. But that just came on my heart. That your hard work will not go unnoticed. And I promise you that. You know? What did Nikki say? I am the star that any room that I stand in. She meant that. You know? I ball in any arena. Go let the fans in. Be the star in any room that you stand in and make sure you balling out with any arena that you play in. Period. That's the standard. Okay? That's the standard. That should be your standard. Yeah. 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 I feel like I want to play that song right now. Yeah. Because stop letting people play with you. You stop playing with you. That's the thing. That's the key. Stop playing with yourself. Stop playing in your own face. Stop playing in your own face. Like, seriously. So. I never realized how funny and goofy Jelly Roll actually is. They're doing their picks right now. Jelly Roll is a Tennessee fan, bleeds the orange, and he's the only one that picked Tennessee to win today. So football gods. You know, but I just don't. I don't know. I don't know if my brain just don't want me to talk about UNC and Cal or what. But I really feel. Shoot. Um, I really feel like the issue and the problem with not it's not just one though. So I'm gonna say so I think one of the issues that UNC has is that their quarterback sucks. Lopez sucks. I thought he was good because when he first came on that first game, he like showed out a little bit. But in all reality, like overall me watching him, I don't think they have the right quarterback in that position. Um, okay, I got 3 hours. I got 3 hours before the game begins. I gotta get my hands up out of here. Whew. Um, Duke is on the screen right now. Duke and Georgia Tech. Um, yeah. I already know this wasn't gonna be me being on here ranting and raving too long. But I feel like when I get on here and do my makeup first, it just allows me to like focus on my drive. So I don't do my makeup when I'm driving. I don't know what's going on with my TV, but nah, this is starting to piss me off. I know it's the TV because I can hear my woman from downstairs. Like, what is we doing? Okay, so we have Vanderbilt and LSU, Duke and Georgia Tech. The LSU game started quick, fast, and in a hurry. For sure. This is the only reason why I don't like doing my eyebrows like before time, like like on camera, because sometimes, well, I mean, I just have to maneuver them a little bit. The only good thing about being on camera is that you can see them and you can be like, that works, that doesn't work, fix that, change that, you know. But that's the thing when so like when I laminate my eyebrows, my eyebrow hairs are actually long, so it makes my eyebrows look like thicker. It don't look bad. They just missing something. Let me see. I need to have some of this. I need to have some of this powder. Oop. That's probably why my sound be messed up. Because I keep hitting the darn microphone. Right now, I don't know if you can hear the background, but the background is LSU. That's the background right now. Background is LSU. LSU has the ball. Georgia Tech has the ball right now. The other game at the top is TCU. We have Boston College and UConn. I be forgetting that UConn has has a football team. When I think of UConn, I only think of basketball. Only. I guess that speaks for their football program. But I think they're pretty good. I think their program is like 4-2 right now. When it comes off, is it on commercial? Let me see. Yeah, they're 4-2 right now. But they clearly aren't in a good conference because I don't know anything about them, football wise. I should probably get off here because now football is on. I know I look like a hot bacon mess, but I'm trying to clean my eyebrows up for real. Yeah, see, they're not as harsh now. Like, put some of that on there. Soften them bad boys up. No, they're inverted. I'm like, what's all this? They need a break from the noise. Yeah. Vanderbilt ain't gonna play. They're not gonna play today. Y'all in Nashville. Yeah, they're not gonna play with y'all today. But to be honest, like LSU should be used to this. Um, and I'm not talking about like in terms of like this rivalry per se, or this game per se. It's TCU and Baylor. The Baylor Bears, both these teams are as good as each other, so this is gonna be a good game. I'm saying like from this season, when LSU came to Clemson, the noise was crazy. The first quarter, I think when they first started the game, they were on there. They was taking timeouts, burning the timeout because of not being prepared and getting in the noise. And I just think that LSU just takes a little second, probably a little second too long, but they take a second to fully like get their bearings. Like some people need to wake up in the morning, have some coffee before they can do anything, and they need to get their bearings. That's how I feel like LSU is. I feel like they just take a minute to get a hold of themselves. They take a minute to like figure themselves out. They take a minute to like get things going and get things flowing. So I never look at this first quarter after watching LSU play and panic. Unless other team puts up like 30 points. Now if that happens, you need to panic. And somebody gonna get fired. But you didn't hear that from me. Yeah, that looks much better. I'm gonna add some blush. Try not to touch my face too much. And I gotta put on my last setting powder spray thing. Yeah, I'm gonna put on some blush. I didn't even need that today. Put that on. And I think I'm gonna take these two. First of all, let's not leave that in there like that. That's crazy. I don't know why I just did that. What's up on my setting powder in there? Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, I need to put on lash because my lashes are scarce. They look scarce. They have scarcity right now. Which one did I... These are two different ones. I'm gonna go. Okay, Boston College got them a field goal. Yeah. Incomplete. Trade ass Green. He almost my name, son. All right, LSU has put 3 up on the board. Okay. Did I say I think UNC needs a new quarterback? I think I did say UNC needs a new quarterback. Defensively, they tried. But when you're not playing complimentary football, your defense got to keep going out there, you're doomed to lose. Because the defense was trying. They did have quite a few penalties and things. I think that's something that they also need to work on. But, like, they don't play complimentary football, and that's part one of their problem. For sure. So I think if they can play more complimentary football, then they would be good. I mean, especially because they came from behind. And for them to lose the game 21-18, I feel like it's getting there. They're getting to where they want to be. I think they can maybe get to 5 wins, but you know, like they're gonna definitely need to change something offensively. Offensively is not working, and it's I can only imagine how frustrating it is for their fans or people that are watching. You know, but that's just me from the outside looking in. I hate that. I forgot how I put this how I overlapped the lashes last time. Well, that makes a difference. That's way different in terms of like volume and darkness. I like this one really much because it's very natural. Um, but I also like this one too. It's very dramatic. You know? Alright, let's put the other side on. This Hisense TV is take it back. I got something for it though. I got my Samsung downstairs. My extra. I went and got from my storage. That's my handy dandy. Don't fail me. TV does not fail me. See, I've had that TV for years now. And I'm gonna just have to relocate it. Great catch, Baylor. Duke is gonna have to stop that. Um, Duke got the ball back. Not ball back, because if they didn't, as if they had it, they fumbled it. But Duke has the ball, and they're going with the run game. But I've heard great things about this quarterback, so I'm waiting to see. Vanderbilt, okay. Vanderbilt trying to get on that board with 7 and marching down the field. Diego Pavia. That's the one that set his mom up on a on a date. He said, if we win, you're gonna take my mom on a date. Crazy. Like, did she know of this arrangement? I think I don't have. Alright. Yeah, I'm ready to get up on out of here. I don't like that. Where's my one? I don't know, I'm torn. I don't know if I really like them. They are very dark. I like my eyes to be dark, but I don't want my eyes to look dark and heavy. But this is what we got because I ain't taking them off right now. I'll take them off after the game or something. I don't know, maybe they'll grow on me. But I gotta fix that one part of my eye. I feel like it's lifting. And then I'm gonna get on off the air because I gotta go. Oh man. Duke just messed up. Duke just messed up. I don't know what. Yeah, Duke messed up. Fumbled in the red zone. Georgia Tech ran it back for a touchdown. So now it's 7-0. Georgia Tech is up. And I said on the college game day football show that I was on that in order for Duke to win this game, they have to be flawless, just about. And I don't want to say necessarily flawless, but like mistakes like that can't happen, bro. Not like that. Brent Key and them have been working on something that's pretty darn special for the past, couple seasons. So I guess Pavia just ran a touchdown for Vandy. I missed it. I looked up and I seen touchdown. Okay, actually might be first and goal. Looks like the ball's a little short. I think it looks good. All right. I think I'm gonna do a pony today because LSU gonna shoot themselves in the foot, ain't they? Like why? Why would you be offsides, bro? Is you crazy? People are crazy. Touchdown, Vandy. I got somewhere to park when I get there. Like I'm on the parking sheet, but that parking lot be filling up. Cause I really think they let more than just the media park in there, but that's why you should normally be early, but it's actually a little little chilly outside. But I got time. I mean, it take me a minute to drive here, but I got time. 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 I think as long as I run into no like bad traffic on the way, I can take a little back road. Like little back roads to the back roads to the back road to get to where I need to go. It definitely is a drive, for sure. Did I just say I was doing a ponytail and I just let it down like this? No, I think I'm gonna do a ponytail. Then we're gonna stick it back. Alright, where's this? That's this thin scrunchie though. I don't know why I did that. Tied my scrunchies around my thing. Oh yeah, before I get off of here. So James Franklin, the former head coach at Penn State, was on College Game Day this morning. And one thing that stuck out to me was, well, two things really. When he was like, he didn't know how they got there. You know? He didn't know how they got there. And you know, in terms of like him being fired and then things just going left. And it's like, obviously we could, you know, he's telling his side of the story and he's telling, you know, what he knows. He says, you know, that he obviously still wants to coach. His goal has been to win a national championship. That's always been the goal. And now the goal would just have to happen somewhere else, right? So, I mean, I think that's a pretty basic and generic answer. Not saying that's in a bad way, but you know, that's pretty much what you would expect. If your coach is coming in and he's not talking about winning y'all no games, you might want to question your decision on him being the coach, right? That's just my opinion, right? And you know, he talks about how like when he first got there 12 years ago, how he basically like turned the whole program around. And that program was, you know, nowhere near as good as it is now. And it was struggling and all that other stuff. And I assume that all that is true because that's literally what I've known, what I've heard, right? You know, how he, you know, saying, you know, how he grew up, not grew up, but yeah, like grew as a coach, and how he's a player's coach and how, you know, it hurts his family, how it hurts recruits and things like that. And a bit of it, I felt like it was a little dramatic. I felt like some of it was still a little bit dramatic, but I also can understand it in every which way as well, right? Like I get it. You live your whole life for over a decade. You've been loyal to a school, loyal to a program. You've been trying to build this program. You've had great success within your program. You've brought a different type of atmosphere to Penn State, and you really did everything in your power to make sure that Penn State was like one of those big staple teams. And one thing I do agree when what him and Nick Saban were saying is that because Nick Saban was like he hated when Alabama was, you know, preseason ranked as number 1 because it can kind of be like rat poisoning, you know. And he was saying the negatives are rat poisoning as well as the positives are rat poisoning because now you have to, you know, keep focused. You gotta keep focused. You have to remain focused. You have to keep the guys focused, keep the negativity out, but also make sure that the positivity is not getting into their heads and then they feel like they're just like too good and stuff like that. So I totally got that. It kind of sucks that, you know, he was like, my daughter, his one daughter is currently studying at Penn State. He was like, yeah, my daughter's at Penn State or whatever. And then like his younger daughter's in high school and I guess she was also going to go to Penn State, but they were only going to go to Penn State because he was there. So now his one daughter is like, she is just basically like, I don't want to say she's hysterical, but she's probably like super duper upset the fact that she probably didn't even want to go to Penn State for real. I'm going to just say that. Because the way that he said it, he was like, yeah, my younger daughter is not, obviously not going to go to Penn State now or whatever. And obviously, I believe their children gets free tuition or whatever. I know Fran Brown pays for his son's tuition, so that way he can give a scholarship for somebody else that's on the football team. But everybody not Fran Brown. So, obviously, she was going to have to go to Penn State. So she may be upset because they may love Penn State now, but probably in the back of her mind, she probably is like, "Oh, thank you, Holy Jesus." I didn't want to go there anyway. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But when he was like his current daughter, that's at Penn State is super duper upset. Yes, again, this is jokes, but I feel like she probably like, yeah, I'm upset because I didn't even want to go here. I didn't even want to go here. You made me go here. You made me stay here, And she probably wanted to go to somewhere else, but Daddy was like, this where you going. We are Penn State till we die. Until I leave here. You can't go nowhere else. And she probably is dead upset because now she is stuck at least for the rest of the semester. Will she go to the school that he goes to coach at now next? We don't know because we don't know what school he's going to be at. I don't know, but I that stuck out to me because I was like, dang. They couldn't even have their own identity for real. Maybe they really want to go. I don't know. I'm making jokes here, but that stood out to me. Than him saying he didn't know how they got there or whatever. And it's like, okay, But do I think that it probably should have given him a little bit more respect? I said it before. I do. I do think that he should have had a little bit more respect. And honestly, at least let him finish out the season. Yes, I understand you lost 3 back to back to back, and I get that. Like I said, somebody was pissed off and they was trigger happy and it just made it happen. Do I think that he should have been able to finish the season though? Absolutely, because I think he did earn that. I think he earned that as that coach to be able to finish out that season. I do think that. After the season, they could have sat down and had a conversation. They could have talked about it. They could have figured out this with this and that was and how we gonna figure and get it back on track. I do think they could have did that, but for them to fire him, LSU has a player down. He already got he a big guy. Oh, he's hobbling. Ooh, baby, he done. He cooked. He already got 2 braces on both them knees. But like I was saying, for them to fire him mid-season, after the losses, I feel like that was a little to me that was trigger happy. And like I said in my previous video, somebody was just super duper pissed off and they just was done with it. But now you got to figure out, well, what is Penn State going to be now? Like when you struggle with the identity of your team, it's going to keep struggling. For real, for real. But that's just my opinion on that. LSU trying to get on the board again because Vanderbilt marched down the field and got an easy 7 points on that board. That's cute, the lip liner. Baylor score update. Baylor has 7, so it's 7-0. Baylor. They're trying to stop TCU. It is 7-6. UConn, Boston College. UConn leads. I don't know if they just didn't get the extra point or what. I'm gonna say they didn't get the extra point. Because I know for sure they did not try to go for 2. Vanderbilt just got pass interference, which it was number 3 pass interference. Score is 7-3 Vandy. And Duke is trailing Georgia Tech 7-0. Duke fumbled in the red zone, and that's how Georgia Tech got the touchdown because homeboy ran it all the way back. I don't know if it was one of their. It definitely wasn't a defensive lineman. I think it was a safety. One of the DBs ran the ball back. So yeah, that's where we are. TCU's in second quarter. UConn, Boston College, second quarter. LSU Vandy is going into the second quarter as we speak, and I think so it's the same thing for Duke and Georgia Tech. I tried to cover Duke football, I think 2 seasons ago, and granted, I was not as big as I am now, but they didn't want to let me in. Like, come on, be honest. Who's covering Duke football? Just like UNC, when I applied for the Clemson game, because why? I cover Clemson. They didn't even get back to me. They didn't even say yes, no, maybe so. I should have just pulled up like, y'all told me yes. But that's a lot further than my Clemson job. That's a lot further than my Clemson job. So I wasn't going to just show up. I think I'm going to go back to Wake. Since I'm not going to... Let me text. So, y'all, I was supposed to be, before I hop off of here, because I got to go. I'm going to be super duper late. I'm going to be late. And I'm just going to pray that I don't get stuck in too much traffic. I got on my game day bracelets. Well, I showed these off before, but one of our lovely supporters got me these bracelets, and I got on my football little earrings. I purchased those on my own, but I like gifts. Another one of our people bought me something else. It's not a pair, but anyway. So I was supposed to be covering the HBCU Las Vegas Classic, or Las Vegas HBCU Classic, and unfortunately, I'm not gonna go. I'm very sad about it, actually. Very, very sad. So I think I'm going to try to go to Wake Forest instead. Because I gotta say Wake Forest has a game that day. Because I have to be able to, I gotta cover a game. I've already missed 2 weeks. I missed 2 weeks already due to my birthday and such and such. So I'm going to try to cover another game that day. But I have game day tomorrow, so I'm going, hockey is here. Hockey is starting. So I'm going to be starting my hockey stuff. Y'all don't be jigging with my hockey stuff. I don't know why. I don't know why y'all be jigging with my hockey stuff, but we'll figure it out. But anyway, thank you guys for being on here. I probably was talking to myself the whole time. I don't know. If you're watching it back, thank you for watching. And my rants. But I did talk a little bit about college football and the preview. Clemson's playing SMU. It's like the battle of the ACC championship game again. I think that Clemson's at home. They're trying to, finish winning out October, winning in November. That's one of their standards, that they always go undefeated in November. I didn't say that always happens, but that is their standard, to go undefeated in November. Their schedule from today on is pretty easy, I think, and pretty beatable for them. So I think that they are going to use the momentum that they're coming off of Boston College, and I think they're going to get a win here. I think it's going to be tough, though. SMU, to me, is not as good as they were when they made it to the ACC championship. And either they're going to come in and be like lights out good, I thought Duke had a touchdown. He dropped it in the end zone. It's a good pass, though. Either they're going to come and be lights out good in terms of, I'm talking about SMU, and they're going to make minor mistakes, and they're going to efficiently run the ball, and he can throw it down the field and really just like make something happen. If he does not do that, and they do not start out fast, and they do not start out like getting points on the board right away, they're not going to win that game. They're not going to win that game. They're just not. So I think that's something that they're going to have to figure out with their game plan today. But I feel like Clemson is trying to get a win at home, and I feel like this could probably be the win they get at home. So I think that Clem is going to narrowly win it like they narrowly won it last year. That's just my opinion. That's my preview. And that's what I got. I should have clipped this. But anyway, follow me on Twitter at PG Love Sports. I'll be doing game updates. And make sure you are hitting that like button on this video right now. Make sure you are hitting that subscribe button to subscribe right now. I was 1 subscriber away from, I think, like 400 before, but so make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. And make sure you put your bell notifications on so that way you know when I come on live. And if you are rewatching this as a recap, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you all for being on here. I send you all of my love. I'm having issues with my website, so that's why I'm not promoting my website right now. But as a person who's had to build my own website and figure it out, I'm going to figure it out. Same way I figure out my audio. But anyway, thank you guys for watching so much. I love you all. Make sure you like and share and subscribe on all social media platforms at PG Love Sports. I am Des. This is the Daily Dose with Des. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next one, which will be on Tuesday. Okay? We're going back to regular schedule. Tuesday, I will see you again. Bye.